So the last one that I saw, and I think it's the only one we've all seen together. Well, Jason, you saw it a while ago.
I had a sneak peek.
Yeah. It's called The Retrieval. You saw this at South by, Jason, and you raved about it.
Yeah, it was my favorite.
And I really liked it. It's a film set in Civil War or post-Civil War.
It's on the cusp of the end of the Civil War.
Yeah. And it's basically a group of bounty hunters who have, they're interested in getting their bounties by any means necessary. And one of the tools they use is they have these two, a black man and a younger, black teenager go and sort of infiltrate, groups of slaves on the run to recapture them and sort of infiltrate them and sort of catch them off guard.
They just point them out.
Yeah.
Like they go in, they learn who the people are, and then they go, that's the guy right over there.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the story centers on the sort of bounty hunter sending these two agents to find this particular guy and bring him back to this place. Mm-hmm. And it's a kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
So go ahead and say what you want to say about it, Sarah.
It was one of those that I had to stop and take a moment because I was yelling at the screen. Mm-hmm. Like just waiting for this kid to choose his moral compass was sort of killing me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It took so long. Mm-hmm. They really pushed that. I liked it a lot. But the suspense was killing me. It was driving me crazy. Make a choice.
Yeah. Well, and it really has a lot to say about kind of fatherhood. And it's almost like this kid gets to choose his own father.
Yeah.
He gets to choose who he wants to be his role model in life.
Yeah, because this guy, I mean, he's a free man for the most part. He can decide to up and go at any point.
Yeah.
And at some point he wants to go that direction, but then he realizes that this kid has nothing else going on in his life. So then he has to, and what blew me away is that gentleman was sitting right in front of me this whole time. Like
really?
he was at the screening that I was at. And when the film was over, I just like grabbed his shoulders and I just shook him. I was like, dude, that was so brilliant. His
I
performance,
thought he was great.
Yeah,
his
he's
performance
amazing.
is, and he won the I can't remember what the acting award is at South by, but he won it.
Yeah,
and he had it with him. He had
really?
his little he had a little a bag there that was in it, and he was showing it to people, and it was just great, And I talked to him for a little bit, but his performance, he's just such a strong visual presence in the film.
You can't take your eyes off him.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. And just the journey that these two characters go on is just so amazing. And it was so validating to just sit there in the theater and there was just silence. And normally when that happens it's bad.
Yeah.
At a festival. But it's just, and nobody moved. Like nobody got out of their seat. Normally, like people were running out to get their and then as soon as the credits were done, it just exploded in applause. So I'm glad you guys really liked it, and you apparently you liked it in a couple different ways, which is nice because it goes a lot of different ways, and it's very suspenseful. You're just wanting things to happen, but it drags them out in a really good way.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting for this, because they at some point in the film, these two have the option to just do the right thing or do, something else, anything. Yeah. And just the way it plays out is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And the ending is amazing.
And
I
the
don't
ending
wanna
is
give it
just
away.
really honest
Yeah.
about every decision that's been made up to this point. It's really honest about what the result of that would be.
It doesn't sort of tacked on an ending just to be an ending. It earns it. Like it takes you there, and it's like, this is the only way this can go. And, well, we're gonna do it. And, and it's some people like it, some people don't. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Oh, I thought it was great.
I did too. I had this slight sense of morbidity, like in the very beginning, somebody's not gonna make it. You get that feeling, but it wasn't pushed. Like they didn't foreshadow too much to where I knew what was gonna happen. It was still a surprise to me, and I had an idea, but it was still original enough that I appreciated it for that.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of movies sort of at the end of the Civil War. It's either, at
Yeah.
the beginning or right in the middle of it. And you have to think about it. Think about that period of time, especially for, for slaves. Or even just anybody.
Yeah.
So much unknown because, well, technology isn't the way it is today. So you don't have any idea what is legal and what's not legal and what's right and what's wrong and what's going on, a mile in front of you or even 5 miles in front. You don't know. So you're just surviving, I think. And I think it paints that picture really well that you're just trying to get to the next day. You know, whereas now we live in a world that's connected and you kind of know what's right, what's wrong, and you're really connected to other people. Whereas all these two characters have is each other for a really long period of time, and then of course they find their bounty, they find that guy, and so he's now in that circle, and you're not sure who's who and who you should trust, and I think what I wrote, and I wish I would have brought my notes, and they're probably actually in my bag just right over there. It's a tug of war between, so, you've got this guy that's working with the young boy and then the bounty. These two gentlemen are really pulling the boy in two different directions. And I think that's really interesting. It kind of reminded me of a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Like, to use a visual thing, is that, they're both pulling, but at some point, it's going to go to somebody else.
I kind of thought he had the angel and the devil on his
Yeah, that's another
shoulders,
good way of putting it.
and he was just
And both
confused.
and both almost paint the right picture. Like, it's just so well done.
And then it even raises the stakes even further later on in the film when, you find out what the consequences are of some of these other decisions that he's been making.
Yeah.
And when, other characters come back into the picture and things start to change again. And then you start to wonder, well, can he make any other decision? Or, what else can he do? And that sort of thing.
Well, you're being super vague for a reason.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Because
We don't want to ruin it.
It's so hard not to ruin it, but now I know two people that have seen it, so I can actually talk about it. The filmmaker, his name is Chris Eska, and he's from the Austin area. They filmed this all in Texas.
Yeah.
And he's somebody to look out for.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot wait for his next film. And I'm hoping that this is one that gets some attention because it's deserving of it. And it's just, again, there's another one of those movies. Like, how long ago did I see it?
It was March.
And now it's at Heartland. What's next for it? You know, it's like it just needs to keep going, and I hope it does because it's original in so many different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
In its storytelling, I thought it was just really, really well done.
Yeah.
And deserving of all of its accolades that it's won so far.
Yeah. A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.